All right, guys, welcome to Unit 9, Lesson 1, which is complementary and supplementary angles. So we're looking at angle relationships and very important definitions that we need to know before we start measuring angles and comparing them using algebra. So we need to first look at these first four definitions at the bottom before we start measuring with the protractor. So go ahead and jump here to the bottom half of your first sheet. So let's review. We have acute angles, obtuse angles, right angles, and straight angles. Acute angles are small. They're smaller than 90. Remember, 90 is like an L. Okay, so an acute angle measures less than 90. An obtuse angle is an angle that measures between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So it's greater than 90 but less than 180. A right angle is exactly 90. So you are exactly 90 degrees, like an L. Okay, you guys all know about taking L's, right? Not right angles. And straight angles are angles that measures exactly 180. We are going to skip the example portion because we're going to be identifying examples from our picture up here on top. Okay, so now we have our four main definitions. We're going to come back up here. You're going to be using your protractor. Okay, so we need to be able to identify acute, obtuse, right, and straight angles from a picture before we measure. So ABC, we need to measure ABC first. So notice how B is in the middle. So you're going to line up your protractor with B. And then make sure all your other points are with your protractor. So A, B, and C. What kind of line is that? Is that a straight line? Yes. So it's a straight line. So we are going to label in our box S for straight. S for straight. And that's 180 degrees. Good. Now let's measure ABD. So B, look for A. A. Okay, so I can see A, B, and then D. I know this is less than 90, so it's going to be acute. So we're going to be looking at the smaller number. So make sure it's right in the middle. Look at where that D line is going through it. And if you look, it's at between 40 and 50. Okay, here's 45. Looks like it's one past 45. So ABD, we're going to say, is 46 degrees. So ABD, 46. All right, now try EBF. So we have E, B, F. This point, this line, angle, has to be lined up with two of your points. So we have to turn to where now I have F, B, and E. So then I could use that to see where E is hitting it. Or I could turn it to where E and B are on it, and then look at where F is pointing. You get the same answer regardless. Is this less than 90 or greater than 90? It's less than 90, so that's going to be acute. So now I'm going to be using the smaller number. Look at where F is going through. Looks like F is going through 30 degrees. So it's 30-degree angle, an acute angle. I'm going to do one more with you, and then you're going to do the next two by yourself. So EBC. So EBC. So I need two of my points on my protractor. So I have C and B, and now look at where E is. EBC is less than 90 still, so it's acute. Look at the smaller number. Looks like it's going right in between 70 and 80. So I know it's less than 90, so I'm not using the 110, 100 number. I'm using the 80 to 70 number. This is going right in between it, so it'd be 75 degrees. All right, you try DBC and DBE. All right, so for DBC, you should have seen that was an obtuse angle. Obtuse angle, you get 135. And then for DBE, you got acute, and it should be 60 degrees. Let me know if you have any questions on how to get those. But remember, your most important thing is you have to have 2 points on your protractor, and then use the third point to extend that line to see what the measurement is. Okay?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
All right, so now we're going to be using our examples here. So an example of an acute angle, pick one of these points. So one of the acute angles was DBE. So we're using angle DBE as an example of an acute from our protractor measurements. An obtuse angle was angle DBC. Right angle, Do we have any right angles? Let's see if we can find one. Let's measure DBF. This one looks like it could be a right angle. And look at that. DBF is a 90-degree angle. If we look at DBF, that's 90 degrees. So then we're going to put angle DBF as a 90-degree angle. And we found a 180-degree angle, which was ABC. And obviously there's more than just these examples, guys. We're just doing one for each. All right, so those are our angles. Now we're going to be looking at complementary and supplementary angles. These are new definitions. A complementary angle pair is a pair, so two angles, that have a sum of 90 degrees. So two angles that add up to 90. And then supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180. So two angles that add up to a right angle, and then two angles that add up to a straight angle. So we need to find an example of that in the picture. So if we look at DBE, so we look back at DBF. DBF was a 90-degree angle. So let's find two other angles that make up DBF. If we look at DBE and EBF, those two are inside of DBF. So those two angles are complementary. They add up to 90 degrees. Okay, what about a straight line? So ABC was a straight angle. What's two angles that add up to ABC? Well, we could see there's multiple options here. We could do A, B, D, then D, B, C. Those make up 180 degrees. So this would be angle A, B, D, and angle D, B, C. There's multiple options here, but that's one important one that's pretty obvious to see with that straight line. Okay, so that is it for part 1 of 9.1. Go and watch part 2 video to finish 9.1.